Yo, what up, guys? It's a boy, Ili, the host who's doing the most without getting any hate but the love for hip-hop and basketball from all kinds of life. And I'm out here with my brothers who are doing the most, and I want them to do their intros because I was out there and they did the most.
Hold on. I need you to do that again.
Let me do that again.
But slower.
Okay.
I want to hear.
Okay.
The host is the most. Right now, you sound like.
Okay. Let's do it again.
You sound like something else. And I just want to be clear.
Okay. Let's do it.
You can hear what I'm saying. Okay.
Yo, what up, guys? It's a boy, Ili, the host who's doing the most without getting any hate but the love for hip-hop and basketball from all corners of life. And we are out here in the NBA live. Are you happy? You know, let's go down, bro. Let's start with you, Norman.
What, you want an intro?
Yeah, do your intro, bro.
Dog Rababaza Ren, are you ready?
Yeah.
The mic is on. Alright, ekwangre. Eksema kenga chupo Norman Nhlapo bona. The hood prodigy sithi kokotela phansi ushayele phezulu. First born yaka Stella. Hello.
It's you.
Hi. What up, dog?
Kyeezi the tall one. Kyeezi the tall one, the Cape Town's finest. What's up?
So, brothers, how has the season 2 of NBA Live been for you, both of you as hosts? Like, how has been the journey?
Franchise babies.
Bro, like, it's so dope to talk about this sport. It's so refreshing to see how many people are into the sport and to bring it to them. Like, it's second to none, bro.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful show, and yeah, everybody will understand. And what I love about it is game, because this is supposed to bring culture of people that know it and people that don't understand it, and this is what the show is about. It's about bringing those two worlds together and just showing how South we're nice, boy. We're nice. We're a very cultural country, and I think the show is an example of that.
So, what has been your favorite episode so far, and why? Let's get to it.
Favorite episode. I really enjoyed having I enjoyed the performance. I enjoyed the stwadlo. I think I've always just wanted to meet the brew. But I think my favorite episode, it has to be Somnyama's episode. Somnyama's episode, and definitely Smamani the brew.
Yeah, bro. I think for me, it's really awesome connecting with all the old ballers, all the current ballers, the guys who are playing in the BAL, the guys who've been really committed to the sport. Even though the sport hadn't gotten that much love in the country, it feels like we finally are able to give these guys their flowers on a stage where the whole country can watch them and get to know their stories. Because the reality of it is, we've got some talented basketball players in this country, in this continent. Do you know what I mean? And it almost feels like we're always looking to, everywhere else in the world for talent when it's actually here. You know what I mean? So a big up to all the ballers who are still playing. Some of us are retired, don't judge us. But seeing some of the guys, like talking to them and seeing that their level of commitment to the game, and you need to understand that even the leagues locally, they're still growing. You know what I mean? So that means these guys are playing from a place of pure passion. You don't get that nowadays.
Is there any guest who you felt like, Eish, Nyatatazela, man, I'm scared. He or she's putting me, giving me some cold feet. Yeah. Not really scared, but it happens for whenever as a dog.
Never. No? Yeah. Take me serious. Well, who made you scared? I am the fear.
I wouldn't say scared, but I definitely felt like, okay, cool, we're doing this on a high level, partly because of how much work the guest did. And that's Pretty Ugly and his lady.
That was my favorite episode. Yes. How can I not? Twin.
Yeah. And Bontle. You need to understand that, especially Bontle, something she said in the interview, she's like, I was dancing when dancing wasn't cool. And she was into basketball when basketball wasn't cool. And I mean, she has flown our flag incredibly high. So for me, it's like, if they're gonna take time out of their schedules to be on our show, we need to make sure that we make it worth their time. You know what I mean? So I was like really focused, like, yo, we need to make sure that these guys also feel like they get value from coming on NBA Live.
Shout out. Looking at the basketball in Africa, bro, like the players and the teams, would you say we are getting somewhere? Are we progressing? And can we compete with those European, Asian, and American homies, like on their level? Who, like, are we there yet?
Bro, like, locally, continent or South Africa? Continent.
Let's actually start from inside and then go out.
Let's start in SA.
Yeah,
In
I
SA.
think
Bro, when you got players who play in the BAL and then they get called up to play and practice in the summer leagues in the NBA, right?
tells you
You need to understand that him doing that is telling every kid in every single high school team, every kid in every single club team, every kid in South Africa who wants to bounce the ball that it's possible. So hell yeah, we have the talent. Now, if you look at the rest of the continent, I think if you were to do a stat, and I'd love to find out, if you look at every single roster in the NBA, there's definitely an African player.
Yeah, I think to touch on, to just elaborate on that a little bit, I think what is happening right now is we're also catching up with what the rest of our brothers and sisters in Africa are doing in terms of having like more infrastructure and more support invested in it. That's where you'll really see a lot more names come through the ranks. And what they have differently is that because it's like almost, I don't want to say the only way out, but because that is such a, they have known that, for example, even if looking at some of, you know, famous ballers that we know that come from, you know, Upper Africa, they looked up to them, and that's where the story started. And because they had that history, that's how they got there. We now also seeing our own. So there's a wave of just young ballers that are coming through. And we've got a lot of tournaments that also show this, you know?
Yo, listen, also just to add to that, fun fact, and I don't think a lot of basketball players know this. Joel Embiid, NBA MVP. He was one of the kids at Basketball Without Borders here in Africa. Pascal Siakam, who is in the NBA right now, was with the Toronto Raptors, an NBA champion, was at Basketball with Borders. Not far, La Hechos. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I say that to you, it brings it home, right? Because it's like, wait a minute, these guys were here. So let's not underestimate ourselves and think that, you know, we can't get there. It's literally how committed you are.
Talking about local basketball, usually we'd have only Cape Town Tigers competing in the BAL. But this year we're having a different team. What would you say to them, to their players and the coach as they're going to represent the whole country?
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, guys, don't play.
Like
Don't play. I think you carry the hopes of so many people beyond just your organization. I think you carry, like, basketball is a cool sport, man. You know what I mean? And you're a cool guy if you play ball. So do it justice.
Before we validate the interview, because we've been talking for hours, man. I want to put you on the spot. LeBron or Jordan?
You shouldn't have asked him that. My eyes are really twitching.
You already know the answer.
This is my answer to that.
Listen to my answer.
This is my answer. LeBron James could never beat Michael Jordan one-on-one when Michael Jordan was at his best. Michael Jordan could not play in the league at the level that LeBron is playing at for 20 years. You decide which one's more
That is such a politically correct.
You decide.
Okay.
You decide.
Who's your goat?
My greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait. Let's put aside the.
Okay, so if you put aside the rings,
Let's just.
if you put aside the rings,
fans, yeah?
no, hold on. If you put aside the rings, do I have a minute? Thank you. Let me. If you put aside the rings, you have to take a look at which player, not individually, but which player made the players around him better. That is the mark of a great basketball player. Not individual stats, not individual accolades, but their ability to impact a whole organization. Now, when you look at that, Michael Jordan affected one organization. Furthermore, when Michael Jordan did what Michael Jordan did, he recreated everyone thinking that they can be like Michael Jordan, meaning that everyone trained to be Michael Jordan. So how much more better must you be to stand out amongst players who are all wanting to be like Michael Jordan? Because Michael Jordan was the first of his kind. So for LeBron James to have Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, all of these franchise players, who everyone, by the way, when these guys were drafted, everyone would say, this could be the next Michael Jordan. And this guy has done it in how many different franchises? Cleveland, Miami, the Lakers. Come on, man, give the guys flowers. Come on, give the guys flowers. When Mike left Chicago, he didn't win anything. He didn't win. LeBron is in contention right now.
Niggas involved.
Right now.
Yeah.
Hey.
UFC.
Yeah.
Niggas involved.
MJ. LJ. Jay-Z. Lakers in 5.
Alright. Nah, listen, I'm gonna keep it short. I think growing up, LeBron had a lot of influence on me. But the more I grow, the more I also now look at it differently. That, for example, 22 seasons actively still going. Let's look at what he's achieved, right? Because at the end of the day, this is basketball. Numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. You understand? So now let's look at those and then come through this way. We're looking at a guy that did it in basically, we could even say half the time. And achieved, look, just hear me out, and achieved how many rings? And achieved how many MVPs? And achieved, we can continue. So we're looking at somebody that did it the marathon way and someone that sprinted. So if you want to compare those two, then, dog, I could say, shout.
You see Jordan?
Hey, Jordan. These cousins beef. Yippee.
Hey guys, I'm Illy the host. This is High Magazine and OK, and we are out.
It's true. There's no way. Bro, guys, you need to understand. You need